Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of A Trigger. I'm your host, Zachary Clark, and you all know my co-host, Adam Furman. Adam, how are you doing tonight?
Doing okay. See that it's still Magnum PI summer.
Yeah, duh. Until August, bro. Yeah, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, Magnum rules this white boy summer.
So like summer.
Well, we got a really good show for you folks tonight. We just, lots of stuff going on in the news. Things are happening. Lots of interesting tidbits of current events. You might say that we're living in the most interesting times in our lives. In fact, it could be said that we're coming to you live, straight from the hearing room where they're trying out all the facts for the January 6th trials. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh. No metal music for that.
Absolute chaos. Chilling, Adam. I haven't been able to sleep one night ever since that fateful day.
Oh,
Everyone tried to tell Trump, it's over, bro. It's done. Pack it up. But he wouldn't believe us. Don't lynch us with the former president, please.
he wouldn't believe him, and then he rounded up all those opposition and sent them to the firing squad, right?
Oh, wait. He didn't do anything.
Because that's what authoritarians do.
He sent a mob to
Round all the guys up and
yeah, I don't know.
lynch, guillotine.
This is what I don't understand, Adam. The narrative is that there's these right-wing extremist violence makers, who are perpetrating political attacks. Be afraid. Let's persecute these guys. And the only political violence that's been committed has been by federal agents or left-wing extremists beating up Rand Paul or shooting up a Republican softball practice or whatever.
Yeah. Desecrating, vandalizing those pregnancy resource centers that are put on by churches and stuff.
Oh, and the churches themselves.
And the churches, yes, that's what I was going with that.
Catholics too. Catholics got a big target, a big anti-abortion target painted on them because they believe in the sanctity of all human life.
It's wild too. I don't understand.
Yeah, very weird. But we'll get into that. Don't you folks worry. We got a whole browser full of tabs open of all the different things.
Sweet.
Including, as usual, so from a little local flavor coming to you straight from Scanner Radio. Fourth and Elm, fight in progress. QPD en route. Dun, 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 dun. Kicking off
Fight season.
Memorial Day weekend of one of the spicier fight seasons we've had.
And we have fight season started early, didn't it?
Oh, yes. We had an early start, and it didn't stop because Memorial Day weekend was rife with fights. It wasn't just those four folks, but three males fighting on the corner of 5th and Oak Street.
Oh, dang. This is what happens when you have your first 90-degree day in, like, April.
5th and Oak Street? We've got trees and low numbers in that post.
Where would that be? North. What?
Yeah, that's what they say in Quincy. Bad parts of town. If it's a tree name and a low number, roll up your windows and roll through stop signs. 600 block of land. Subjects.
Oh, wait. No.
QPD in area. Hey, got some more low numbers there. Lind is on the very north end of the trees too. So
I was gonna say, isn't that a tree too?
it is. It is low number trees. So there was a lot of brawls. It was it was a holiday weekend. Well, this was June 1.
You guys
This is like Wednesday or whatever.
Backyard barbecuing.
Yeah, you're smoking ribs and on the side having a multi-individual brawl in the streets. This is
And then after the brawl, y'all sit down and enjoy the ribs.
yeah, have a couple
The
of
potato
cold
salad.
brews, kick back, relax.
No, the cold brews happened well before.
Hey,
Before
and after. Before
Yes.
and after the fight season incidents. Fight season socialization requires you to be well lubricated with a cool beverage, and we do
It
not.
slows down the reaction time, but it also numbs the pain. So
We don't prejudice ourselves against those who imbibe here on the Triggered Media channel. Cheers. There you go. But that wasn't all in local news. That does it for the scanner, but you may remember a few times we've talked about that interesting gentleman who likes to ride his bike through town wearing thong underwear and holding up protest signs in the corner of Broadway. Well, he was in the news again. Living nightmare. Citizens come before Quincy City Council to ask that what can be done? What can be done about this man?
he is the living nightmare. Is
Yes.
that what I'm getting?
Yes. And there was a lot of people pushing back. They said, he's just a guy with mental health problems. What's the big deal? He's not hurting anybody except for maybe children and other people that he's, voyeuristically manipulating himself in front of and all these sorts of things. But they're saying that just because he's a weirdo and a crazy person, flaunting his masculine body in feminine underwear on the side of the road with vulgar signs doesn't mean that we should get the police involved or do something about this guy. These outrageous Quincyans are just on a witch hunt against someone who's unconventional in their community. And then you read what they're really complaining about. Jason Priest. What will it take to do something? As a friend held a large picture of her son and showed it to the alderman and a large audience in attendance. My son's body laid in this man's house for 12 plus hours alone. He told police my son wasn't there. That was a lie. These deaths and overdoses could have been prevented. What will it take so another young person's life isn't lost in vain? Oh, apparently he's operating some sort of drug house, and the people that were complaining at city council were not just random passers-by on the main drag where he's carrying on his extracurricular activities, but his main profession of corrupting the youth, ruining his neighborhood, and potentially murdering children.
How old was the kid?
I believe he was 18. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. It says kids.
Oh, you said 12 hours.
12 hours, not 12 years old.
Okay, I was thinking a 12-year-old.
It's people's kids. I don't know if they were the age of the victims. But But
Okay, never mind. I thought you said 12 hours or 12 years, but you said 12 hours.
yeah, can't recall what exactly the age of the child was. Young person.
Outrageous. No one will do anything about this. What can be done?
So it turns out they decided to arrest him. Quincy Man jailed. Faces 4 misdemeanor charges for reckless conduct and disorderly conduct. The charges mainly stem from his extracurricular activities of being a
Yeah,
weirdo
I imagine.
wearing underpants. And not. Illinois passed a law, not in the too distant past, where it made you liable for people who died of drug overdoses, of drugs you supplied them, or if you assisted them in some way in imbibing these drugs. And I don't believe that those laws were repealed. I probably would have put him on the hook for murder.
Yeah, isn't there a current trial around this area for the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
So,
It's like a weird, like fourth degree murder trial or something. I don't know. I'm not doing it justice, but that's the gist. Is like if you supply someone with the drugs, you're charged with murder if they
yeah.
die from an overdose.
Yes. That is exactly correct. So I would have probably added that
May or may not be constitutional.
onto the complaint. Yeah. Well, if you've got a tool in your toolbox, you might as well use it. They're throwing the book at people who steal a bottle of whiskey out of a 7-Eleven, sending them to prison for 8 years. They might just, take care of business. Maybe they're giving him a break because he's just not all there upstairs. Of course, that could lead to all sorts of, he's got a built-in insanity defense, I suppose, for a lot of things.
And I bet the chains can't bind him. I bet he can break loose the chains if there were people.
Are you suggesting that this man may or may not be afflicted with a demon?
You have said so yourself.
Yeah, this is true. But we'll keep following the Jason Priest case, and we will let you folks know if there are any, you know, breaking news associated with.
Up to and including him showing up at Zach's door.
Anytime any of you wackos want to swing by, I'll make you dinner. A lead sandwich.
Magnum PI stuff.
Oh, wonderful. Speaking of breaking news, Adam.
Oh no, he's at your door.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news, Adam. Interactive poll says Biden's Hispanic approval ratings plummeting to 24%. In the new poll, Biden's approval of Hispanics is approve 24%, disapprove 58% out of 1,576 adults. We have this breakdown. 32% of whites approve of Biden, 24% of Hispanics, and 49% of the blacks.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, that's correct. Less than half of the black people in America approve of the Democratic president.
Yeah, those are bad numbers.
It's not good. If the election was held today, it would absolutely be a landslide. He's lucky.
Hispanic numbers are like. Oh man.
This is why I think we need more Hispanics in the country. People are talking about limiting immigration. I can't get on board with that.
No. You're Mexican, you're wearing a cowboy hat. Come on over.
Yeah, well, there's that weird thing with like people that are established and like get their citizenship. They hate people that are like illegally immigrating here. It's very weird. I don't completely understand it. But they
Hey,
turn into like these
they
like
went through they followed the rules, they jumped through the hoops, they got their attorneys and, filed their paperwork correctly, and all you needed to do instead was, make up some story and go before the immigration court and plea for amnesty. And
yeah,
then
but like
you're denied, and then, well, whoops, you've been out, you've been out in the country released for months.
right. I think that for the most part, those people just like it doesn't matter because of prosecutorial discretion and law enforcement resource allocation. Oh, we're just gonna not prosecute people that are
Yes.
dreamers, Adam. It's those that are dreaming of a better life that came to America. We are going to give these children a chance to have their life in America.
22-year-old children.
Yes, these graduate student children. They're dreamers, Adam.
Graduate student children that are being paid nothing, and they
Dream.
must work, work, work.
They have
in this.
a dream to be exploited for their labor as citizens of this great country. No, I don't really particularly understand the vehement anti-immigration folks, but this just reinforces me and my position as a conservative to open up them borders, son. Let's get those guys in here. If they have this attitude toward the absolutely anyway, let's just say I'm on their side. But that's not the only breaking news. Boop, 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 boop. Breaking news out of breaking news. And this might be related to those numbers just discussed. Inflation rose by 8.6% in May, highest since 1981. Oh no. This was when was the Reagan first term election? Was that 1980?
The election would have been in 1980, and then he would have taken office in 81. I'm not sure when. I can't remember when they switched it from March to January. I might be way off, but I want to say at some point they switched the inauguration from March to January. Get Hank to look at them.
Oh, Hank. She's so useless. Yes, but the inflation is at its highest rate since the stagflation time of Jimmy Carter, causing people to announce parallels between the two presidents.
Why would they do that? Stagflation, recession, oil price. Well, I mean, there's an embargo. Saudi Arabia, I think, actually said, "Okay, we'll up production here." I think they were getting other countries who are saying, "Hey, yo."
There's a weird thing with oil production volumes.
Yeah, well, I think we've been saying for months, "Hey, up the production." We're like, "Nah, dude, no way." And then I think more and more countries across the globe have said, "Hey, you need to be doing some more." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, now that you've asked, it's not just the United States.
Well, it's that, but there's that's part of OPEC's protectionist scheme is they can open the taps anytime they want and drop oil prices down to levels nary before seen.
Yeah, that's how they, when the oil prices were going up and when we were innovating and we were getting the oil sand and the fracking and stuff and extracting oil. And it's like, hey, cool, we could get our own oil doing this, and it's cheaper doing this. And they're like, you know what? Ramp up production.
Exactly.
And then,
like,
there's no point in doing the oil sands and whatnot because it's cheaper just to buy the Saudi oil.
Oh, 100%. You, in fact, can't sell the oil sands oil at a price because of the low price in the market that would cover your production costs.
Right.
Because it's,
Now you're getting up to a price. You're getting up to a price point where, hey, ramp up those productions again.
yes, but the
Except,
key difference, Adam, is that we currently don't have an administration in either Canada or the United States that's friendly toward production of oil. So it's safe
no,
for
they don't
them to
want it at
raise
all.
prices now because they know
So
that the producers in America are so tight right now because of the hostile regulatory environment that they're not going to be investing in and exploiting the reserves that would be profitable at this price point
what
because
are you
they don't
talking
know
about?
when they're going to shut down.
I've heard that they're just like raising prices arbitrarily for their own greed, so that they
I,
can reap
it
the
could
profit.
be. I have no idea. I don't know why gas is what it is.
I don't know why oil is at the highest cost it has been in
There
20
was
years.
I saw a graph and I don't know because it was on the internet, so it's either 100% true or 100% lies. That showed a
Wait. Where did you see this? Is
the
it from a
internet.
is it from a purported news source? A three-letter
It was
news
a
source?
random poster on the internet,
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know.
So it's fact.
Probably true. But it showed the graph of oil prices, and then it was lined parallel to gasoline per gallon prices, and it didn't track exactly. And in fact, it was higher now than previous higher oil prices or something. I don't know. I'm not going to look it up, and I didn't. The internet's broken though. I can't look up the inauguration change date. So if you guys know
Oh,
in chat, post in chat. I'm gonna have to use some of my truck money to invest in upgrading this computer. I think it's a
you
little
did
trouble.
say you did say you have like a million tabs open, and if you've got
Yes,
Brave, if you're using Brave, you've got that privacy uses a lot of megabits.
I think I think that's the opposite is true, but I'm actually using the Gab associated web browser to
Oh, sweet deal. So it might be a honeypot, right?
what's it called? I can't even remember what this thing. Dissenter. Yes, the Dissenter web
Oh,
browser. not
it's
not
so cool.
not
Do
sponsored.
you, do you use do you use Edge or Firefox? Because I know I use Dissenter. Boom.
Yes, this is true. Uh, it actually, I when I test browsers use an obscene amount of memory, and I don't get it. Uh,
I need to make laser eye profile. I need to turn my profile pic into laser eyes. Remind me to do that.
Let me know if you need help. I've been practicing a lot, so I've gotten very good at laserizing things. So
It can't be. Wasn't the laser eyes thing like a Bitcoin or crypto? Isn't that like red laser eyes?
I don't know. I don't know what started it. I know it turned into a dark MAGA thing at some point, but
Oh, that's what I need. I'll turn my profile pic into dark MAGA.
dark MAGA.
I'll just lean into the whole Christian nationalist thing.
Dark MAGA is anti White Boy Summer. White Boy Summer is cruising down the highway along the beach.
2 a.m.
Yeah,
The California coast.
with the synth wave piping through your speakers at full blasts.
Yeah, you've got your Lamborghini.
Oh yes, yeah.
Right?
It's
You
at
know what? It
night,
doesn't even have to be that. It's just a convertible.
and there's just like neon street lights going by you.
Yeah.
And you're just
It could
vibing,
be LA, it
vibing
could be
down the road.
Miami, Tokyo.
Are you describing these synthwave capitals? The synth. What
It's
is it
any of
called?
those.
The
It's any of those.
synthwave
You got that
empire.
new wave playing.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna try to make that my tomorrow. Except there is the go-kart races, and I sort of want to attend.
Oh, that is tomorrow, isn't it? I thought I missed it last week.
No, and the soapbox derby I think is next weekend. Race after race after race. Quincy's such a great town with all these events.
Dude, I've got my kids were invited to 2 birthday parties back to back. So I'm gonna be spending 4 hours at you know where tomorrow, roller skating it up.
Oh, sweet!
Billy
Man,
Jean and that neon light.
you know what's fun about this? That place is open to the public, so I can just go there and roller skate with you, and no one can stop
Oh,
me.
dude, we can hold hands.
I love the spot, and I love roller skating so much. But
I've
Allison
skated
hates
for
it.
like 2 decades.
I can't talk her into going into the skate rink with me, just to skate around a little bit. They sometimes do have like adult nights or whatever. When it's like open late, you can go hang out there, and they serve beers,
Sweet.
roller skate around, play laser tag or whatever.
They do serve beers. I'm gonna be spending 4 hours there tomorrow. I'll just be.
Yes.
I'll be that
I
dad.
think they have a limit because they don't want dads getting blasted at children's birthday parties.
Blasted there out on the rink.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man, that guy's not a very good skater. I've seen him in here and he was not this stumbling before. It was probably those 8 tall boys I saw him slam down. Oh no. Oh no.
This is when did we start selling tall boys? We don't, sir.
Mommy, why is that man peeing over the edge of the skate rink?
Oh no. No, I would never do that.
Avert your eyes, children. Oh. I thought this was America.
You're just in the corner. You're like, it's like, why is he hovering over there? It's like, oh, you know.
Nice.
You go over, oh, my kid had an accident over there.
Some kid had an accident.
Yeah.
Blame it on a child.
Like, sir, I saw you over there for like 2 minutes straight. No, man, I was
trying to clean it up. I promise.
I was trying to figure out what's going on.
I thought you might have had a pipe leak. I thought a pipe burst over there. I was trying to check it out. Find the source of the water.
I think I found it. You're good now.
I cut it up. I cut off the leak. Oh, it's good stuff. Hey, folks, you might not know this.
my name is Jason Priest.
But it is Pride Month. Pride Month. Month of June. It's the month of Pride. And as... as it is Pride Month, a lot of places are coming out and they're showing their support for the... hold on, let me pull up my notes. L, lesbian, gay, G, B, bisexual, T, transgender, Q, refers to either queer and or questioning community, IA plus means I? What is I? I don't even know what I is. A, I believe, might be...
Inquiry?
Inquiry? What does that mean, inquiry? No way.
Intersex?
Intersex, maybe. I didn't think that the intersexes were included. I
Ooh.
don't know. I believe
But
maybe
hey,
may mean asexual folks.
they're included, but intersex may not be.
I don't know.
No, what is I? Hank,
I think you might
you
be
failed
right.
us again.
I think that I might mean intersex. I think that is probably correct. So we have things like, oh, you can get the new Pride controller. And it has lots of different rainbow and pride flag decals in it. Prominently displayed is the teal, pink, and white striped trans flag. And I don't think that this here chevron of rainbows on the right side of the controller looks like a rainbow, which is not in fact the pride flag. Pride flag is a just the stripes straight across, or if it is in a chevron style, it could mean ally because it's shaped like an A without the cross member. But then the stripes are all parallel and horizontal in image. And I still don't know what the circle in the yellow field means. Anyway, so this shows that Xbox really loves the gays. And they've decided to. Wait. What's the white flag, Adam?
Oh, it's the internationally recognized symbol for surrender.
Oh, I see. So what's happening here is the Xbox is admitting that it is surrendering to the gay agenda. And putting out this controller because they can't fight anymore. I know that, they have sort of a masculine image with their first person shooters because they have a lot of Call of Duty and Halo history, which is historically been populated by the bro dude population.
That's. Oh my gosh. I remember when the Xbox came out,
The
and
first
it's like,
one?
the first one, yes. Because I think it competed with the PlayStation 2. Does that
Yes.
sound right?
Yes, this is correct.
I remember my cousin, I'm bad at this. I don't know how much older my cousin is. My cousin's 5 to 7 years older than me. And I'm like, he was like a teenager, like 15 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, they're coming out with Xbox. And he's like, you mean gay box? And I'm like, no, it's called Xbox. And he's like, or like gay box. And it just now came to me.
The aesthetic was very awful. It was just like a giant suitcase-sized piece of plastic,
Yeah,
rectangular
PS2 is pretty
prism.
much the same thing.
The PS2? No,
Yeah.
it had some architecture to it or whatever. And then they decided for the Xbox 360 when it came out that they were going to be like, oh, it's like slick and modern with all the white plastic on it and whatever. I don't know. I did not like any consoles past Super Nintendo, so
Oh, you're a purist, huh?
I don't know. I like cartridges, and I didn't like the Nintendo 64 because the controller was too complicated.
It was a
It
complicated.
had like the
Like, do you
side
hold it
bits, and
like
then there's like
here,
the
or do you hold it
middle.
like this?
It had genitals. You had like grip the genitals to play some games.
And then its dangle is
Yeah, yeah.
the
And you had to
dongle.
thumble the thumb, the thumb thing or
Dude,
whatever.
I always remember it with like they had the demo versions in like Sears and whatnot, and I'd be like, oh hey, mom's shopping for clothes for 15 hours or whatever, so you go over to
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
demo in the kids section, and then it'd be like, how do you even play this?
I don't know. All I know is like what the most complicated controllers I ever had like 4 buttons on them, and you only ever used like 3 of them. I had a Commodore 64 which had literally 1 button. It was a joystick with a red button on it. That's
Yeah.
all you could do. And the Nintendo controller had a cross pad and then the A and B buttons.
Yeah.
You
And the Super
pause,
Nintendo
you hit the start
had
button,
your
that's it.
A, B, X, Y, and then L and R buttons.
Yeah, and that was like a bridge too far for me even. Trying to play Super Mario Kart is like, no, you have to hit one of the L or R buttons as a bumper. It makes you jump, and that way you can fast slide around corners. But not too fast, or you'll spin out. Listen, I'm going to confess something here.
You idiot! You held on to it too long.
I thought I was king of Mario Kart because I could beat everybody in my household, and that was super good. And I'm like, oh man, you guys suck.
That's not an unreasonable assumption when you're, you know, 8.
So I go to college. I bring the Super Nintendo with me, and I'm like, I'm really good at Super Mario Kart guy at college. Like, oh, I'll come over and play it. He just absolutely wrecks me. Like I'm like I was talking up such a strong game. I'm like, no one ever beats me. He's like, oh yeah, no, you're good. Oh, it's so sad. I'm shaming myself with these confessions tonight.
No, dude, no, I get it because it's like, you probably did. You probably were too old for the Guitar Hero stuff.
Yes, some people had it when I was in my mid-20s after college.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I played it. I'm like, oh man, I'm good. I can do it. I can do the expert stuff. And I'm like, if someone's like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, oh, hey, cool, let's battle. And it's just like, okay, cool. And then like they did like perfect stuff on like hardest songs, and I'm like, why did I waste so long? I'm like, it was like you know, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, because
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, they're really good. Whoa, they're wasting a lot of time. It's like, also, hey, Adam, you've wasted a lot of time.
And you're not even that good. Oh no! It's like
It's just like there's like weirdos who've got. I don't even know weirdos. There's like people who can use those controllers to like beat Dark Souls.
the Guitar Hero. They're using the Guitar Hero guitar to
Yes,
defeat Dark Souls. Yes, yes.
yes, yes. It's like you know, insanely hard game and like just using the guitar controller.
It's wonderful.
And I'm like, this is nuts.
I like this. It's that big fish, small pond situation. You
Yeah.
run into like if you tried to play sports in college, but you're like, I was the best person on my team in high school. You guys are scrubs, and you're like, we're all the best person on our team in high school.
Yeah. And then it's like you hear the theme song. Dun, 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 dun.
The Chariots of Fire.
What? That was Top Gun.
No, that wasn't Top
Chariots
Gun.
of Fire. Top Gun. I don't know what that is.
Top Gun goes bum bum bum
Zach. No, no.
Anyway, so along with Pride Month, and Xbox, Postmates is offering a new menu, and it is what they call bottom friendly.
I don't understand it.
It's the first bottom friendly menu. They're saying this is friendly for whatever a bottom is. Hey, everyone listening, maybe you should Google that. Pride, bottom. What is a bottom? make sure you turn off your explicit results filter.
Oh, jeez.
Go to images.
Go to your browser settings and turn off images. Disable images.
You
Is
would
that what I'm
probably
hearing?
want to disable images, that's true. Hey, maybe your kids need to know. This is just public on the internet. This person quote tweets the Postmates post saying, ordering off the bottom from the menu and forcing the Postmates delivery driver to eat it in front of me at gunpoint as he slowly realizes what's coming next. Which further solicited this comic.
Yeah.
So we've got a pizza delivery bird. And the bird is approaching a house and he knocks on the door and the guy answers through the crack with the chain latched. So yes. Bird points, I've got a pizza for you. And the guy says, and the soda. And he's got a smarmy look on his face. And the bird pulls up a soda and he's like, pour it on top. So then the bird starts pouring it on the pizza. Pour it, slut. And then the bird continues to pour with a horrified look on his face. Hashtag Postmates.
That's messed up.
But that wasn't what was the biggest thing in the news. The biggest thing in the news is the prime time event. Must watch TV. January 6th commission. That's right. The insurrection. Surrection. It was carnage. It was chaos. Never, Adam, in my wildest dreams, that I think that as a police officer, as a law enforcement officer, I would find myself in the middle of a battle. U.S. Capitol Police Officer Caroline Edwards describes absolute war zone outside of the Capitol. This absolute war zone, and as we all know, in war zones, the only people that die by combat are women, unarmed women who are shot in the neck by police. Absolute war zone. The carnage. The chaos. The only one who died was a woman I personally shot in the neck. I'm going to say, because this person was a police officer on scene, and I'll add the collective race guilt of all law enforcement onto her.
There you
go. Absolute chaos. Absolute carnage. But yes, though, the January 6th committee from the House of Representatives has been meeting, and on primetime TV are having people testify about how awful and whatever the January 6th protest was. Protest. I wouldn't want to attribute characteristics of this riotous insurrection with the completely righteous protests of racial injustice that had taken place on a mere 6 months before. And were probably actually going on in some degree during this, because I'm sure they're actually still happening today.
Yeah, no justice, no peace, right?
Yeah. But, we got to air all of our news out in the front of everybody so that we can convince them that January 6th was the worst thing ever. Convince them that the Republicans don't think that it was the worst thing ever, so that we can maybe convince like 6% of independents that we are actually the ones trying to hold the country together and vote for us in this primary, so it's not an absolute bloodbath.
Dude.
We need to have the January 6th commission's report out before the midterm elections, or it's just gonna go so bad for us, guys. Come on. Flashback, though, for context. Well, Mr. Andy No decided to make this post. Flashback, May 2020, mobs of far left rioters tried to storm the White House. Yes, that's right. This was a less than a year prior to the worst attack on the federal government since the War of 1812. That a mob, in fact, tried to storm the White House, where the president lives. They were repelled by police who were assaulted and hit with projectiles. Democrats and leftists condemned law enforcement at the time for stopping these just rioters from their end goals. And to which a person responded, "No one is attacking police with an American flag. No president ignited this protest," says reply guy A. To which someone responds, "All of these comments were made prior to Jan 6, 2021 by not the president, but by others." There needs to be unrest in the streets. Protesters should not let up, said Vice President Kamala Harris. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, you get out and you create a crowd and you push back on them, said Maxine Waters. I just don't know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be, says Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. It wasn't the president who said this stuff, who created a riot that required police protection trying to storm the very White House that was burned in the War of 1812, the last time that we had a comparable attack to January 6th on the federal government in this country. Adam, make it make sense for me, please.
I cannot. You cannot. It's irrational. You can't make it make sense. They've got the sense in their own mind. And it's just it's just a lust for power. So whatever means that they can use, it's like, even if they would have said things, these stupid trials, this show trial and whatnot, if they would have just framed it as like, oh, it's the worst attack in 12 years or something. Like, I would have been like, oh, okay, whatever. And you wouldn't even have people be like, technically it was, 5 years or whatever. People be like, oh, whatever, you're off by 5 years. But saying stuff like you said, it's like, since 1812 or since the Civil War or something, it's like, that's not the case. You can't even be like, okay, obviously they're exaggerating a little bit. It's like you're embellishing. They're not even. It's like they're so far gone from embellishing on the resume. They're just telling complete lies.
Yeah, I think that the trouble is that it wasn't even the worst attack on the government in the last year.
Right.
That's what the trouble they ran into. Which is like, everybody's like, but wait a minute, I thought that we were supposed to be protesting. Like, no, not like that.
Yeah, right, exactly the point.
But that wasn't the only thing that the federal government did, because it coincided.
I don't understand why only one cop started shooting unarmed people. Why weren't more cops shooting unarmed people? If that was the case, where it was an armed insurrection, that was they needed to
repel the rioters.
Sure, yeah. And also, other questions are like, this isn't an insurrection because these people aren't being charged with that. They're being charged with misdemeanor property damage, felony property damage, misdemeanor felony trespassing. If it was actual insurrection, they should be hanged, and they're not doing that. So it's not an insurrection, and they don't believe it's an insurrection. And this whole calling it an insurrection is just straight up. It is straight up propaganda.
Yes. That was the media got the memo, and then they started calling it that. Insurrection has a particular legal meaning in the Constitution. There's an amendment that prohibits you, if you engage in or support insurrection, from holding office. They've been using it as a attack weapon to attempt to preclude MAGA J6 Republicans from being able to run for and hold office intentionally. And they're using their lackeys in the media to present that argument so that they can then use the media's presentation to bootstrap their own argument to have political attacks against Republicans. It's very, very 1984-esque. Total control of media, thought, and language situation happening. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Adam? What are you gonna do? You're just gonna like, I don't know, just throwing stuff out there, hypothetically speaking. If you were actually wanted to commit an insurrection, if you actually wanted to, say, take over the seat of government that you absolutely had control over with thousands and thousands of participants, maybe I don't know what you might do. You might capture some of those police. They're right there anyway. Apparently they're not willing to just start blasting you. And maybe you tie them up around the neck. I'm sure you could probably fashion some sort of gallows right there on the Capitol grounds.
Oh yeah, well they already had some, right? They had them ready to go.
It was like a 2 feet tall mock-up stupid child thing.
It's obviously
is it a gallows for
nail
ants? Anyway, that wasn't the only thing. Coinciding, I can't make this up. Coinciding with the beginning of this show, Primetime Propaganda Fest, the FBI arrested a candidate for governor of the state of Michigan. Yes, that's correct. I believe the leading Republican in the primary for the governor of Michigan election was arrested by the FBI. The same FBI that had previously coordinated with the governor in a kidnapping plot designed to affect an election arrests her top political opponent for being present at an event on the day, on the same day, a primetime TV special on that event is airing.
Yeah, which, by the way, those people, as part of that plot, the jury acquitted them because they bought the defense that they were being entrapped by the FBI.
Oh, why would they believe that? Radical juries.
And I don't know. I don't know what the polling is. I usually don't follow this stuff too closely, but a Jan 6 insurrectionist running for governor leading. This would just it would cause you could just point to the whole thing and be like, see.
Adam, the FBI found no evidence that he had entered the Capitol building, but alleged that he was among the crowd on Capitol grounds for roughly 2 hours. This was the evidence presented soliciting his arrest on the day of the primetime event on the J6. Right.
I know that there are pastors who put out their stuff on YouTube on how they were preaching to the people there. And,
Don't get me started on pastors.
Oh, no. What do you got?
Don't get me started on pastors. This is the final image from the January 6 hearings. Opening video is the culmination of white evangelicalism's unholy union with Donald Trump. A violent insurrection led by people waving a Christian flag. Christian nationalism is evil, deadly, and antithetical to the way of Jesus.
Yeah, they should have the flag should be swapped, right? The Christian flag should obviously be higher.
Higher, yes.
Absolutely.
The way of Jesus? To these bloated skin tags is tolerance of disgusting freaks, perverts, and degenerates who destroy everything true, good, and beautiful while hating order, decency, peace, and the good of their neighbors. So, yeah, I'll be keeping my Christian nationalism. I never knew I was a Christian nationalist until my enemies said I was bad if I were one. Now I know it's a good, best thing to be, apparently. This is how it starts. Oh.
We should all be afraid of this thing. It's like, wait a second, I am that thing.
They didn't stop.
Wait,
They didn't
no.
stop there, Adam. The Homeland Security actually put out a statement. According to the Department of Homeland Security, in a new article published this morning in the Seattle Times, Anglo ancestry, yes, that is an ethnic group, or using a cross to signal your Christian faith, now makes you a white supremacist, far-right extremist threat. Yes, that's right. The government is targeting white Anglos and Christians for persecution, labeling them as being in an ethnic group or a religious affiliation as extremist groups that need to be monitored and kept close watch on.
Sweet deal. I see we got the Hispanics coming in, disapproving of this persecution of the Christian faith. Man, we're gonna have Alamo too.
Me, a white Christian with Anglo ancestry, I'm in danger. Ooh, good thing, good thing I'm a Celt. Do you think they'll make? Do you think they'll make that subtle distinction, Adam?
Absolutely not. They'd be like, wait a second, what do you mean Celt? You've got 1/8 Anglo.
Hey, he didn't look like no Celt to me. I got clear Celtish features. Clearly Celtish, not Anglo. Can't you see? Nah. All you guys look the same to us. No.
It's like, no, I mean it's Germanic, it's Celtish, you know. No, Anglo, obviously.
Obviously, it's all the same. No. Oh, the racist tropes for years that have been used against the blacks now are being used against me. Oh, turnabout. But Oilfield had this take because it wasn't just them, because the AP got in on the deal too. I can't get over the fact that they actually published this sentence, put it in the Louvre, and on tank tops. These people traffic in racist, sexist, and homophobic tropes. They revel in the prospect of white boy summer.
I don't even know that.
They hint darkly that the CIA and the FBI are behind mass shootings. They traffic in racist, sexist, and homophobic tropes. They revel in the prospect of a white boy summer. Summertime! Oh, I didn't even want to get into this. We don't have time.
No.
But there's this AI-generated image thing that has been sweeping the internet so much so that you can't even do your own if you tried because there's too much traffic on the site. This was a good example. You type into the prompt a phrase, and then the AI creates images based on that prompt. And this one was courtroom sketch.
It's the best I've seen. Like this AI program is the best I've seen.
Courtroom sketch of a clone trooper on trial for Order 66 crimes defended by Will Smith. It's really good. It's really good. There were several of these things.
I saw one of them was like Little Big Planet, which is like it's like a kids platformer game where they're like sackcloth creatures, the little sackcloth guys, and it's like Little Big Planet in Saving Private Ryan, and so they're like burlap characters and stuff, and they're like beaches of Normandy. It's so bad. I mean, it's funny. Oh man.
Yeah,
what was that one Seinfeld, the video? Seinfeld 1998 Game of the Year edition.
Oh, it's just so good. Recommend. There's a whole Twitter account dedicated to them. That you just gotta Google Dolly, DALL-E images, and there's just.
You gotta send me that account because I don't know.
Alright. Well, it's that time, folks, for us to wrap up tonight, so we gotta check in with Ice-T with our Ice Cold Fact of the Week! Coming to you straight from his Twitter feed. Ice Cold Fact. When people can't control you, they try to control how people view you. Ice Cold Fact. And extremely relevant, given the context of all of the current events as discussed this evening. But that's our show, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash like, subscribe, ring that bell, ding-a-ling-ding-ding-ding, so that you get all the alerts when we go live or whatever. You follow us on social media. Our social media handles are on the screen. Adam, did you have anything you'd like to add here at the end of the show?
No, I don't.
Oh, once again, Adam's missed his shot. All right, folks. That's it. That's the show. But we will see you next time on Trigger.